Good day, you absolute legends. As you read in today's title, there is a breaking news warning alert going out right now, and I am sounding that alarm. Right now, I am receiving reports that there are indeed bugs with this brand new update. Shocker, I know. However, there is one bug in particular that is especially spicy and is breaking people's saves at the moment. And I was alerted to this by this Discord message. So as you can see, well, it seems the latest update has crashed and burned on my PC. Just lost my save game. Locks up on load. I backed up my save game. Do not place portable refiners in Corvettes. It screws up the refiners from that point. Only install it on a Corvette. Now, what he's talking about there is only install the official refiners that you can install on Corvettes when building them, but do not place those normal portable refiners inside, because there is some sort of issue that when you do, apparently it is locking up your save completely. It boots you out the game, you try and load back into it, and you can't. The game will crash each and every single time. And luckily for ZX here, he had a backup save ready to go in case things like this happen. So I always recommend to make sure that you back up your save. So everybody, take this as a big wake-up call right now. If you've not backed up your save yet, go and do it right now. Before you watch the rest of this video, go and do it. It is highly important. And for the time being anyway, until I get information that this issue is fixed, do not build portable refiners in your Corvettes. There seems to be a massive issue, and we also have kindly there an error code and everything that is going on. So I just wanted to get that out straight away before we continue anything else in today's video. Now, in yesterday's video, I asked what you guys thought about the update. What do you like about it? What do you dislike about it? And you guys have been incredibly vocal. I have over 200 comments on that one video, which is absolutely insane. However, before we do cover some of that today, there are still a few comments that I've noticed popping up, because as we know, yesterday the whole conversation was that Xbox hadn't had the update yet, and however, as we all know now, Xbox does now have the update. But what about PlayStation? Well, we know that PlayStation 5 has the update, but for example, this comment right here, PlayStation 4 is still on the old update as well. And to be fair, ladies and gentlemen, this one right here as well. PS4, no update yet for me. And we also have this comment. On PlayStation 4 here, we also haven't received the update, and I agree, there are definitely bugs that needed fixed, such as it taking up to 5 minutes to load on a planet's surface, or you'll fall through the ground. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't make the game unplayable, but it definitely slows down the progress. Just want the new parts. I'll suffer through the bugs. Just fairly give all consoles the update instead of picking only the new consoles. We may be an older console, but we bought the game as same as everybody else. So what is going on? So it looks like that PlayStation, in a race to be the first console to have the brand new update, has just steamrolled ahead and pushed it to PlayStation 5. And it seems like they're still doing some sort of verification process or checks. Because as we know, last gen consoles, like, the other Xboxes, I mean, there's so many Xboxes now, I can't even remember all the naming schemes of them, but like the Xbox One and so on, and the PlayStation 4, they, in my opinion, do struggle to run No Man's Sky 9 times out of 10. It's not that they can't do it, just that obviously being an older generation console, it takes a little longer for them to run and run smoothly. So whenever there is a new update, I think that's where the hang is, because it needs to go for verification checks. And with older generation consoles, I would assume that it is a slightly different verification process, and no doubt because of the console's age, and it does take a little bit more effort to run, then there might be more conflictions, more bugs happening, and then that might get sent back to Hello Games to be fixed before them pushing out again, and it is a lot of backwards and forth. So that's what I think is going on here. So I think that's why PlayStation 5 has had the update, because it's a much more powerful modern machine, but PlayStation 4 is still hanging in the wing waiting for the update. So I think that's why. it is just a very frustrating time at the moment, because also on the flip side to that, we are still waiting for news about the Nintendo peeps, about even getting Voyagers as an update, let alone Breach as an update. So it is incredibly frustrating, and I really do feel for you guys in the community that are still waiting for this update even now. No matter what console or platform you play it on, everybody should get the update at the same time, or round about the same time at least. Like you say, you pay for the game and you pay essentially for that experience. Your experience should be no different from my experience of the game, in my opinion. But if anything does change with the PlayStation 4 or Switch side of things, because I could post this video out today and it could literally drop then straight after I post this video. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. But if anything does change, I'll keep you fully updated on my socials, on my YouTube shorts, and so on. You know I will do. Now, like I said, with the update, what do you guys think? So the first comment I have right here is enjoying the expedition so far, and it is an extremely high chance for the new expedition features will come to the normal game and be permanent. So as we discussed in yesterday's video, ladies and gentlemen, there was a comment that was critiquing the fact is that we have these new like ships out in space that you can go ahead and salvage within the expedition, but in the full game out with the expedition there is no such ships. But as I explained yesterday, there is a very high chance that anything like tech-wise or showy-offy in the expedition, which is essentially what these salvage ships are, there's just a show-off of what the new features are. 9 times out of 10, they will be brought after the expedition ends. They will be brought into the full game. For example, in the Cursed Expedition, we had that, you know, when Abandoned Freighters also, for example, was in the game, that was a part of an expedition, but then they got brought into the game and now you can find Abandoned Freighters in the wild, just in the full game. So it's not the realm of possibility. Most of the time, it does happen. Not all the time. There are features that have happened only in expeditions and have not carried over. It does happen, but 9 times out of 10, if it's popular enough, it will be brought over. And I highly suspect the salvageable corvettes will be brought forward. It does seem a very popular mechanic in the game, so I highly suspect that to be brought over in the next few weeks or so. Now, the next comment I have goes like this. Don't forget the bugs. I keep getting propelled off into space when trying to spacewalk to the Corvette wreck. At such speeds, I can't jetpack back. However, going to a save means the Corvette is gone and you've wasted the debris scanner. Now, ladies and gentlemen, he is absolutely correct, and in a video that I've done previously, that was also reported that you do get flung off your ship doing a spacewalk at Mach 10. However, and we will be covering this in just a little bit, there is a fix currently in experimental right now that does fix that issue. So players rejoice. It is in experimental right now. We will go over more details as we do get along in today's video, but rest assured it is being fixed. Now the next comment I have here goes like this. This particular update feels more like a DLC than an update, but it is a free DLC, so we should keep it in perspective. P.S. Add me to the list of those who are glad to not have the FFW, whatever, the intro. LOL. So first of all, let's talk about the DLC there. So yeah, like I said in yesterday's video, this update, in my opinion, was never meant to be anything grandiose. It wasn't meant to be a Voyagers Part 2. We've literally just had Voyagers, you know, one of the biggest updates to ever hit No Man's Sky. So this update, in my opinion, especially so late on in the year, was never meant to be grandiose. It wasn't too big. It wasn't too small either, because we got a brand new expedition out of it. We also got brand new Corvette parts. And in my opinion, that's what this was. A DLC, if you want to call it that, fine. But it was meant to be a complement, an additional add-on to Voyagers. And that's what this update says to me. It was to complement Voyagers, not try and outshine it. And that's probably the best way I can describe it. And as for the intro, right, let's just talk about this very quickly. I have gone ahead and set up a poll, which you can see right now. And you can vote on whether or not you want me to keep the intro on future videos, or to scrap it completely, or make something else, or to bring back the original I Got Me Thinking intros that I used to do. So you have many options there. So do go ahead after this video, go over to my community tab and vote to your heart's content. Let me know if I should keep the intro, get rid of it, or change it. Let me know. So ladies and gentlemen, as we discussed earlier in today's video, We have this by Mr. Murray. New build push to PC experimental with a bunch of day one fixes. Now, it's not a grandiose list of fixes. It does seem like there are going to be more on the way, and you'll see why in just a second. But there are fixes nonetheless, and some very important ones. So let's have a quick look. So this is the list of update fixes right here. And to be fair, the first, second, third, fourth, and even the fifth one there isn't that big of a deal. It's all to do with UI stuff on the ROG X Ally, whatever. Or, you know, just making a text a little bit more enlarged or a bit more clearer. The very last one there out the sequence, which isn't as big, in my opinion, is fix the visual issue with the Orion Blade Corvette wing when placed on the right-hand side. Okay, cool. But the next one does have a little bit more weight behind it. Fix an issue that could cause weather effects to play when space walking. So that's fixed. That was a reported issue. I've seen that quite a lot through different socials and channels. So that's really nice. The next one is fixed an issue that could cause the player to fall through the floor when teleporting to an abandoned space station. That one was a very big one. A lot of people were having that problem. And I've already submitted quite a few Zendesk reports about that very issue that you guys have sent me. So thank you very much. So I'm glad that's been fixed. So it looks like they got that message fairly quickly. The next one here is what we were talking about earlier. The one that is everyone is pretty much waiting for, which is fix an issue that could cause players to be pushed unexpectedly whilst spacewalking. I am so happy that is being fixed. Again, that is one that I've submitted to Zendesk myself through your reports and even sent over to the team as well. So I'm really happy that that is being fixed. So thank you very much for your continued reporting. And like I said, if you have seen any bugs and you've already gone through Zendesk, send them to me and I'll push them through Zendesk as well on your behalf. So absolutely amazing work. And then the next one finally is fix a crash related to base building. Now that could, even though it's not very specifically saying that it's to do with Corvettes or refiners, that very well could be the refiner problem that we spoke about in today's video. We'll have to wait and see what that does materialize as. But fix a crash related to base building, it depends if you want to call Corvette as base building, but there we go. But, you know, that's on experimental right now. You know, it can take anywhere. Sometimes they push them out literally within a day or two. Sometimes it can be up to a week whenever they push them out. But I say safely 3 to 5 working days is when it should be pushed to all platforms. But this isn't just the list that's getting done. This is just day one fixes. They do add to the list every single day or every other day, with loads and loads and loads and loads of bug fixes. So do be expecting this list to grow even more before it gets pushed out to all platforms. But if anything does change with that, I will be the first one to let you know about it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know down in the comment section if you knew about the refiner problem. Has it happened to you already? Let me know, comment section down below. But as always, my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.
Join the Cynical Militia on Professor Cynical's Patreon. No exclusive perks needed. Just your passion for epic space adventures and bold discussions keeps the galaxy spinning. Choose your tier. Fuel the mission. Repent jar. $1 a month. Forgiveness for your ad block sins. A pack of Monster. $5 a month. Keep the creative thrusters firing. Absolute legends. $10 a month. That got me thinking. $50 a month. A bold, questionable financial decision that screams you're all in. Why join? Every pledge strengthens the Cynical Militia, keeping Professor Cynical's YouTube channel a thriving hub for No Man's Sky fans, craving news, updates, and unfiltered discussions. You're not just a supporter, you're part of a galactic community that dares to explore and think differently. Don't just traverse the stars, own them. Enlist now at patreon.com/ProfessorCynical1 and let's conquer the No Man's Sky universe together.